So you're looking to invest in Belize real estate. My goal by the end of this video is to show you one of my secret weapons when you're looking at which market in Belize is going to make for the best investment. But first, I want to break down a little bit about how the Belize market is different, some ways you can make money in the Belize market, and give you guys a full spectrum. So let me break some of this down for you guys right now. So when our clients are looking at making an investment in Belize, typically there are going to be a few different ways that they can capitalize on their real estate. Number one would be straight equity appreciation. You're investing in real estate, a land bank, or you're buying properties to buy and hold and experience the appreciation that's going on in the market from tourism numbers increasing, more people entering the market, etc. The other way you could approach this is a cash flow investment. So you're looking to buy maybe a home, maybe a condo. You're looking to cash flow the property when you're not there. You're looking to do potentially a monthly rental or a nightly rental in the market, and then come down for a certain percentage of the year. Or you might look at debt, so being the bank. And we're going to talk more about bank financing in Belize in a second here, but that's the other alternative. You can buy a property and also capitalize on the interest. There's a few different ways you can make money in this market, and we typically need to consult our experts when we're doing stuff like this. Shiri, what do you think the best real estate investment is? I think she's right. So how do you decide which approach you're going to take? Well, first I want to give you guys a little comparison between the Belize market and the US or Canadian market, which are highly leveraged markets. So if you're going to buy a home in the US or in Canada, typically what you're going to do is go get a mortgage. You're going to finance that property through the bank. You're going to have a certain percentage you're going to put down, and it's going to be highly dependent on the price, the interest rate. These factors are going to really dictate if you're buying a property or if you're not buying a property. The key difference with Belize is that we don't really have traditional bank financing. So if you are looking to buy a property, it's going to be much more reliant on the supply of available property, and the demand for those properties is going to find out where the value is, because we don't really have an interest rate factor like you'll see in the US. For example, with interest rates going up right now in the US, we're going to find most likely that house prices are going to adjust and go down. We don't have that down in Belize. And the reason why is that Belize banks actually have reserve requirements of 24 cents for every dollar deposited into the banking system, which means they don't have a fractional reserve system. They can't lend multiples of the deposits in the bank. So they typically reserve those loans for local Belizeans. So with that being said, we know the banks aren't a big determining factor in what is going to be the price of real estate, which area is going to be appreciating, which area is a more sought after area. So what should you be looking at, and where do you get the data?
The BTB, Belize Tourism Board, has a lot of amazing data for where people are coming from, where they're going, what they're doing in Belize. And that's really an amazing resource. So yeah, definitely check it out if you're looking at Belize, looking at what's high season, low season, and where people are coming from.
So let's take a look at the BTB website right now. This is the #1 resource that you guys can utilize to get up to speed on where the market is. So we're back here again. We're in my office. And on my screen, you'll see the BTB's website right there. We're gonna switch over to the screen view now, and I'm gonna walk you guys through some of the data that you can get. So here we go, guys. We're now on, I'll take you this from the top here. So when you get to the BTB's website, you can search Belize Tourism Board, and this will be the top link to pop up. Once you're here, you'll notice the tabs on the top. Go to Belize Tourism and then click the Statistics tab. So once you click the Statistics tab, you'll notice a tourism performance dashboard that pops up. Now, what are we looking for here? Well, like we talked about in our last video where we talked about moving to Belize, which has so many different variables that really depend on your personal choice, your personal taste, investment is very different. We want to look at where are people going within Belize, because in any circumstance that we're looking at, that's going to be relevant to our return on investment. Whether it's a monthly rental, you need heads and beds. Whether it's a nightly rental, you need heads and beds. Whether you're looking to capitalize on equity appreciation, you need more people entering the market looking to acquire property. Whether you're looking to sell a property with financing and be the bank, you need purchasers. So all of these are reliant on picking the market that has the best statistics from a standpoint of who's coming to Belize. So on our dashboard here, We have our overnight tourist arrivals by port of entry for 2018 to 2022. We have our overnight tourist arrivals by origin region from 2018 to 2022. So this gives us, let me do a little zoom in here. This gives us a little breakdown of where people are coming from and how many people are coming from those locations. So you'll notice a key thing about Belize is that most of our tourism is actually coming from the United States, Canada being third actually behind Europe, and then Mexico after that, South America. But overall, it really is heavily driven by the US because we are so close to the US. Moving on, so we have estimated visits to destinations 2018 to 2022 by region. So this is going to tell you exactly how many people are going to each region. And what you'll notice right here, and this is the real focal point of this video, the most important takeaway you can have, is that San Pedro is receiving far and above the most overnight arrivals as opposed to any other location by a fairly wide margin. So when I look at making a real estate investment in Belize, it's really quite rare that I look anywhere other than San Pedro. If I'm looking to buy a property for personal use, that's a completely different story. But it's important. If I'm looking to buy a property for personal use, that's a completely different story, but the data doesn't really lie to us here. So important to look at that and note there's so many more little tools they have in here that which give you comparisons of stay arrivals throughout the Caribbean. They give a comparison for Belize. They give you the cruise ship performance, which is less relevant to investors who are looking to rent units because cruise ship vacationers typically don't really get off the boat very much. So, or they do, but they do it for a little day trip. They might go to ATM Cave, they might go snorkeling, but it's not going to be a week-long trip or a 5 to 7 day trip, which is the average in Belize. So you have some more data on the cruise ships, but this gives you guys a really good idea. And there's more of these little reports you can dive into. There's a 2021 report, 2020. So if you are a data-driven investor, I highly recommend checking out the BTB's website, looking at this resource, and getting a better idea of where you want to invest within Belize. As always, guys, if you have any questions related to Belize, we'll throw my email right here. I'm more than happy to help with them. And hopefully one day soon we see you walking through that door over there to come say hi to us. We'll see you in the next video, guys. Don't forget, like, subscribe. Ciao.